Good morning, wrestling fans, and welcome to PWR Today for Wednesday morning, May 25th, 2022. The man they call Meathead, and once again, the lovely Matthew Thomas.
Good morning, the lovely man they call Meathead. We are 7 months away from Christmas. You got your Christmas decorations up yet?
No, they are currently down right now, but they've only been taken down. I think I took them down right before WrestleMania.
Yeah. No, I'm cool with that, man. I'm cool with like decorations going up, right around daylight savings time and then coming down right before Mania. I think that's very reasonable.
What are you going to do next year when there's no more daylight savings time?
I forgot about that. Yeah. I don't know. I'll figure out a pattern or strategy, if you will.
My friend Pat Earn. There we go. Matthew, who's the sponsor for this morning's program?
CollarandElbowBrand.com. They clothe you when there's daylight savings time. They clothe you when there's not daylight savings time. They clothe you 365 days out of the year, except on leap year when, wait a minute, you have an extra day or do you lose a day in leap year? Or wait a minute. It's February, but you have a net gain or a net loss of a day, right?
No, please keep telling us what you think.
Yeah. So February, wait a minute. So February gets an extra day. So technically it's 366 days in the year, right?
You figured it out. Look at you.
Yeah. So they take care of you no matter what year it is or how many days are in the year, or, even if you haven't figured out how many months have 30 days with Meathead's knuckle trick, CollarandElbowBrand.com, promo code LindaK saves you 10% that you can use to buy more collar and elbow, or maybe even a calendar, maybe even one of those fancy calendars that you put on your desk and you tear a page off each day. CollarandElbowBrand.com.
A word a day calendar with a collar and elbow brand discount code, maybe.
You know what? They put up some really kind of cool things on their social media pages and social media platforms, little memes and whatnot. That would be a great page a day calendar, I think.
There you go. Maybe an Al Snow joke every once in a while, or Al Snow saying, ones that half of the time I steal, because I'm down with OPF, and then change the Jessica from his wife to my wife, re-tag her in it, and then, it's good stuff. So
yeah, he's at least got 365 or 366 good jokes.
Oh, absolutely. Again, that's why I'm down with OPF, other people's funnies. I don't actually come up with stuff myself. So let's talk about wrestling news. We don't really have any news. We're going to get into NXT from last night, and we're going to break down the go-home show for AEW Dynamite, which is also, Matthew, their 3-year anniversary of the first ever Double or Nothing.
I'm trying to remember if I bought the first ever Double or Nothing. I don't think I did. I think I bought the pay-per-view prior to the TV deal, right? That would have been the weekend, I think, prior to the TV. So, yeah, because the first ever Double or Nothing, that would have been where Cody and Dustin bled all over the place, right?
I believe so. I mean, I don't remember. We'd have to go back and take a look. But let's talk about NXT from last night. Really, at the end of the day, the show was about Joe Gacy toying with Bron Brekker to force a DQ against Duke Hudson. So Duke Hudson gets a DQ victory over Bron Brekker. There is a NXT In Your House pay-per-view coming up next week, Saturday, Matthew. It is a point qualifying event. Has anybody got any NXT talent in the PWR draft?
Did you get Brekker?
I've got Bron Brekker.
Yeah. There you go. Well, I don't think you'll get a title loss because they really haven't built up the storyline enough to make me think that he's losing that title. But I mean, maybe he'll decide to come over to Gacy's stable and just they'll all be friends. So he might not lose a title, but maybe he'll be part of Joe Gacy's club.
Maybe, and that's really what it should be called, as a club.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so. WWE had the club for a while.
They did have the club. They were called the Good Brothers. The one thing I got out of the first handful of matches, Sanga defeating Wes Lee, then Sanga sticking up for Wes Lee after Zion Quinn was going to come to pick the bones. I like Sanga.
Yeah.
And I don't mean Sanka, the coffee. I mean Sanga, the wrestler.
No, and it was an impressive outing. Yeah, it was kind of a squash match, but Wes Lee looked really, really good getting run over. So I liked what they did there.
Yeah, and then we also had, and Matthew, I stopped to watch this match a little bit. Roxanne Perez defeating Lash Legend in the Women's Breakout Tournament semifinal match. I think this match is made for Roxanne Perez. Lash Legend. I know this is a developmental show.
Yeah.
But I can't. I can't.
Yeah. It's a developmental show, and there's a lot of talk about whether a straight up developmental show should be on weekly television, and that has been the discussion since NXT 2.0 has gone NXT 2.0. Like, I mean, is this to her credit, or anybody's credit in a developmental territory like that? Is it giving them the benefit of the doubt? Is it setting them up for success
or setting them up for failure? Because
exactly,
I mean, they're doing their failures on live TV
to develop on live television where everybody can see it and everybody can pick it apart.
Remember, this show is supposed to go on the road too.
Yeah. Well, the road around Florida.
Right.
I think all those dates are stateside, right? Or it's in the state
They're
of
all
Florida.
They're all Florida dates. But still, that means taking this show out on the road, performing in front of maybe 750 to 1,000 people.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Do we? Do we know what the status is as far as NXT being, as far as that Tuesday slot being under contract? Because, I mean, and this is just me throwing it out there, but I'm not 100% convinced that we don't see NXT at some point go back to being
a network special or a Peacock special.
Yeah. I just because really,
you know what that means, though, Matthew Thomas. I want you to think that for a second. Say that out loud again. Say it out loud.
So if NXT went to Peacock, does that mean every title win and title loss would be points accumulating?
By the rules set forth by the accounting firm of Dewey, Cheatham and Howe, to be completely honest, that would mean that NXT, every television show that they put on, would qualify as point qualifying events.
So we have a mad scramble, and all of the PWR draft teams just consist of NXT talent at that point. Is most likely what would happen. That could be fun. That could be fun. Maybe we have a little side deal where we just do an NXT specific fantasy draft. Oh yeah.
Linda K, I hope you're listening in Rancho Cucamonga. There is a chance that you may need to find some NXT talent. Now the problem though is that what if you were to draft, let's say you drafted Kaden Carter and what's her name today? Katana Chance. What if she changed her name again?
Oh.
Or Wendy Chu changed her name again?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, you draft a human being, right? I mean,
that could get very, very interesting.
Well, and again, that's I love Kaden Carter, but now it's Katana Chance, and she's tagging up with excuse me, not Kaden Carter. What was her partner's name before Katana Chance?
Man, I struggle so hard with NXT names. It was a different name than it is now.
It was Casey Catanzaro.
Well, there you go.
But again, I love her as a talent. I absolutely love her as a talent. However, again, how are you expecting us to invest in these people if we can't keep track of their damn names?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's
What's our guy's name again on SmackDown?
Something Dupree, right?
Max Dupree.
Yep. Yeah, I'll take it over LA Knight though.
Yeah. Chaos breaks out in the Mandy Rose and Indy Hartwell match. Mandy Rose wins over Indy Hartwell, and there was all sorts of stuff. Mandy Rose hit in the face with a ball sack.
Yeah, on another can't miss episode of NXT 2.0. I mean, that's
I'm not making this up.
That's literally what happened.
I am not making this up, and I'm not even embellishing it in a meathead kind of way. They called it a ball sack, and it hit Mandy in the face. How many times has Mandy on the job or, in personal life been hit in the face with a ball sack?
I don't know, but I mean, I think we just got a new title for this morning's show.
Mandy in face with ball sack. Yeah.
It's going to be as popular as I didn't check and see, but you named yestermornings.
Yestermorning. Yeah, I named it yestermorning.
Yesterday morning, we talked about Kim Jong-un, didn't we? I assume he made the title.
No, because then I have Kim Jong-un listening to the program, which is not bad. I mean, I want him to listen to the program, but then I'm getting banned from going over there. I want that, North Korea money, just like, Randy Marsh gets, and Disney gets and all the NBA gets. So who
Yeah, yeah.
knows? It's all about integrity. All right, Tiffany Stratton defeats Fallon Henley in the women's breakout tournament semifinal match. Now, after Nikita Lyons was ruled ineligible to compete due to an injury in training, Tiffany Stratton took her place and inserted herself into this match. She has now moved on. Von Wagner defeats Jacket Time Ikemen Hero, who's wearing a jacket with watermelon on it. That's
It
your
almost
guy.
is summer. Yeah, I like him.
The main event was Duke Hudson and Bron Brekker. Disqualification match. Duke wins due to Bron being disqualified with Joe Gacy on the outside. Now the match at the In Your House next week, NXT In Your House. If Bron Brekker gets disqualified, he will lose the belt to Joe Gacy.
Yeah, man, it sounds like you're kind of grasping at straws to make that a stipulation in your main event. It really, really does. We've seen it before, but my goodness, it just doesn't seem like it seems like a lackluster attempt to sell a match.
What was your impression of the barbershop snapback that they had going between Carmelo Hayes and Cameron Grimes?
We've seen them in the barbershop before, right?
Yeah, but only Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. We didn't ever
Man,
have a guest come in.
what it reminded me of? You were with us in the hotel in Dallas that we were in. Did you see that barbershop that was in the Tina Turner Hotel?
Oh yeah, sure. The Tina
Yeah.
Turner Hotel. That's how you know that I pay attention to it. Yes, the Tina Turner Hotel.
Yeah, yeah. So that's the first hotel I've ever stayed in with the barbershop. So it kind of reminded me of that. But I like the addition of Grimes in there, and I kind of liked how they were all on pins and needles, but the barber actually welcomed Grimes into his shop.
Well, because he saw all that hair and thought he was going to get paid.
Yeah.
All right, that was NXT from last night. We're going to take a look real quick at tonight's anniversary show on AEW, which is also the go-home for Double or Nothing this weekend, live from Vegas on Sunday night on pay-per-view. Matthew, look at the stuff that we've got lined up for the card tonight. We've got the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament semifinals, Toni Storm and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. The Owen Hart Men's Tournament semifinals, Samoa Joe and Kyle O'Reilly. There's the face-to-face confrontation between Hangman Adam Page and CM Punk. Jungle Boy versus Swerve Strickland versus Ricky Starks in a triple threat. The Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships are on the line. FTR defends against Roppongi Vice. And then finally, the one that's been built to for a while, in a steel cage, Wardlow, Shawn Spears, with special guest referee MJF. This is a big card.
AEW consistently.
Do you remember AEW used to go head-to-head with NXT? I mean, think about what we just talked about on NXT. Yeah. And now think about what we're talking about on Dynamite.
Yeah, I mean, there's not another company that is putting together, as much weekly must-see matches as AEW. Nobody's close. And what's interesting here, Meathead, is this is a go-home show. There is the talk sometimes it's AEW giving away too much for free. Well, this is your go home show and you're building towards a pay-per-view this weekend. I mean, there is a way to do it and there's a way to tell, the stories where, you still get the big payoffs at the pay-per-view, but you are able to do enough within the context of the weekly TV shows to make each show and each match mean something. And I mean, you've got absolute barn burners. I mean, I think Joe and O'Reilly is going to steal the show. Absolutely, hands down. And I mean, even our surprise matches that we get, I don't want to say it's a throwaway, but the Joker match last week, we kick off a show with an unannounced match of Johnny
Demo. Yeah,
Johnny Dynamite, was that his name?
Yeah, Johnny Dynamite as well. Yep.
Going up against Joe, you're giving that away unadvertised as a surprise. And I mean, just saying what they do with their surprises like that. I mean, they're doing a phenomenal job. And I mean, I think they've come a long ways in 3 years and they are consistent, and it is a consistent evolution in this 3 year period.
I'm looking forward to seeing how Wardlow wins the match against Sean Spears, because remember, MJF is the referee. So does he get knocked out, and does a real referee get in the cage?
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but that's you know, and is it an AEW official, or is it is it somebody that we're not expecting?
And then it throws on a referee shirt and says 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So, well, we're going to find out tonight. Matthew Thomas, I'm excited for the pay-per-view. Again, we talked about it yesterday, but we're going to be having a lot of people watching the pay-per-view either at the theaters. We're going to have them watching it at home on Fight TV, on Bleacher Report. I know that somebody like myself will be watching it traditionally through your local cable provider.
Well, you're calling your local cable provider, right?
Yeah, I'm going to call them. I mean, obviously, I'm going to call them and say, hey, I'd like to watch AEW, All Elite Wrestling. Can you put that on for me? Do you need my passcode? We'll go from there.
Hello, good sir or good madam. I would like to purchase the pay-per-view offering from All Elite Wrestling this weekend. Thank you kindly.
It used to be that way. I mean, obviously now, if you're calling into your cable provider to order a wrestling pay-per-view, you're not really doing any research here. I mean, for example, WWE, they have the frickin' network. Why don't you have the network and just pay $5 a month for it?
Well, I remember instances in the 90s, man, where we'd call weeks ahead to order it, and got the thing locked down.
Right. Yeah. Why would you do that? So, I mean, even 10 years ago, really, at that point, you could go find a blast zone and go watch it, for whatever it is, order a meal or something and watch a pay-per-view with about 200, 300 of your closest friends.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you go see AEW over at the theater? Johan Promotions, ask for Zev.
Yeah. I'll tell you though, just doing a comparison of Blast Zone versus AEW at the theater, when I've not looked this time, but when I looked last time, I mean, it was about like $20-$30 a head to get in the theater.
Okay.
Yeah, the Blast Zones, I mean, I remember an era where, there was no cover, man. They were just glad to have you there. You sat down.
Right, the gimmick is you're buying the food and the drink.
Exactly.
The Blast Zone that I worked at, again, I don't need to put that out there, but we had it at $1 just for head count.
Yeah.
We wanted to know how many people are in the building, so we charged $1 per head. And then once we reached our head count, because you have fire code, that was it. So no, we were the hot thing in town. Nobody could beat us, and we were making money hand over fist.
So what you're saying, you charge $1 per head at your Blast Zone?
Yeah, I mean, of course I would charge $1. I wasn't the one giving it; I was the one getting it. So when we're at the Blast Zone, I charge $1, and we'd get a head count.
That's the way capitalism works.
That is the way capitalism works. Here's the way the show works. We're out of time. For the man they referred to as Matthew Thomas, the beautiful Matthew Thomas.
Yeah.
For Linda Kay is somewhere in Rancho Cucamonga. Tell the Bucks to hurry their ass up and get to Vegas. I'm the man they call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to you tomorrow morning. So long, everyone.